We are here at SOE with Senior Producer Todd Carson, and we are talking about Dragon's Prophet today, obviously with a nice shirt on.
Yes, thank you.
So Dragon's Prophet has been out a couple weeks now.
Over a week.
Just over a week. So let's talk about a little bit about the changes that you've seen from the player base from beta to launch.
Okay, well, I mean, we've seen a lot of new players coming in over the last few weeks, over this last week, and so people learning the game, whereas all of our beta players are experienced, they're high-level players now. We made some changes from beta. We used to have 3 starting zones, and it was kind of spreading the players out a lot. They weren't necessarily all together and communicating so well, and one of the zones was a lot better than the other. So before we got into launch, we actually shut down the other 2 zones. We're going to repurpose them later for higher-level content. And RuneWaker, the developer out of Taiwan, actually made a lot of enhancements to Paratia, the one starting zone now. So we're finding that players are able to get into the game a little bit better. There's more socialization going on. We have pop-ups to give them instructions as they play. So I think it's a better overall experience by far. And players seem to be enjoying it. They're having fun.
Yeah. And you showed us the intro boss, the main dragon at the end. He's pretty awesome. What was his name? And tell us a little bit about him.
Okay, so Lockfear is that's the world boss that we have in the game. Okay. Kronos is in the cutscene that when you start the game, and Lockfear is now in Paratia, and it's something for mid-level characters, even low characters can participate, and high-level characters to come back to Paratia. And he's a skeletal dragon that flies around for about 4 hours, and then he settles down. He takes about 25 minutes for everyone to kill. You get on these mounted siege equipment things, and you have to shoot at him, and people help load armor up, and then once you break down a shield, you go in and do damage, and it's really fun. And we just got it working the last couple days, so players hopefully will start getting into it.
And you get a special skeletal dragon at the end, right?
Well, there is a chance for some players to earn the skeletal dragon pet, yeah. And the rewards are based off of damage done, participation amount, and then there's a random chance that multiple players could get the skeletal dragon. And that's the only way you can get a skeletal dragon companion in the whole game.
Nice. So when you see somebody with that, you're pretty impressed, right?
Yep. In fact, next Monday we're doing an event for you guys as well. We're going to be running one of the PvP events, and as a reward, we're actually going to be giving out some of these skeletal dragons to alliances that participate. So
very cool. Got to be there.
It's really cool. Yeah. Nice. It's going to be a big fun time.
So you've raised the level cap with the launch of the game. Yes. How many players have actually reached the highest level now, which is 90? 80
is the level cap now, and we've got 22 players as of yesterday that have reached the level cap, which is really fast because it's only been 9 days now. So there's a few players I think that haven't been logging off. But
can't log off.
Yeah, it's a very small percentage of the players, so it's going to take a while for people to get there. Especially, that's only the beta players who are at close to level 70.
Probably max level already to even attempt that.
Right, and so anybody who's new that's coming in just from the past week, they've got a few more weeks or months to go before they level up. So, for sure. Yeah.
And so, is there anything else that we've released just since launch? Do you have a lot of content planned after release? Do you have I know in PlantSide 2 and EverQuest they have the roadmap. Mm-hmm. So do you have an extensive roadmap set up for Dragon's Prophet?
We're working on that. We've got a roadmap right now that runs out through November, and we do have some other new things that came in. So we talked about the starting zone. Paratia has been modified. We've talked about Lockfear, the world boss. We also have a PvP system that's the first step is integrated now. And that's what we're going to be doing on Monday when we give away the skeletal dragons. It's a GM run event, so that means that one of the SOE people have to be there, and we trigger the event. And then it's a PvP event where really high-level players that are parts of guilds, which guilds form together and make alliances. Alliances will be able to battle each other for control over the island. They can capture points, they can defeat NPCs there, and then those NPCs will respawn as part of their team. So that's what we're running now. And then the next phase of that is where it's triggered by the players, and the winner actually takes control of the Citadel and can have lots of benefits from that, the High Lord system. So that's part of what's in progress. We're also working on the next expansion where we'll increase the level cap to 90, and that'll be coming sometime in the next couple months as well. So yeah, lots of things coming, lots of stuff for new players. We've got new quests, we've got events like a Halloween event for all level players. We've got some stuff that players will be able to purchase in there'll be pumpkin heads and special weapons and
Halloween stuff.
Yeah, potions that transform the way you look, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
A little bit more about PvP now. You showed us just before this interview a lot that's going on with PvP. There's hundreds of things going on. Now, is it going to be difficult when new players start, or even older players, when the PvP first begins, trying to figure everything that's going on? Is there a system in place that's like that where you can actually kind of train players on all the different steps along the way, or is it kind of just trial and error?
It's mostly trial and error because PvP has been in the game as a like we can duel each other, or we could go up to the housing area before and be just like, hey, let's all fight each other. But the system that's in place for this is an instanced area, so you have to go into the instance, and then you can actually do combat while you're on your dragon mount. And that's a new thing for players. So they're kind of figuring it out. You have to train up points and that and stuff. So it's a lot of trial and error for the players. Any of our new players that have just started since launch won't be able to get there yet. Because you have to be level 30 even to get to that area. And really to participate and be able to survive, you really have to be in the level 60s or higher to really survive in the PvP. But yeah, players are figuring it out. I mean, it's their general skills. Their dragons are going to have special abilities based on the class you are, so there's going to be more specialization. And like most games, we don't want to give away too much. We want to let them figure it out. So yeah, it'll be fun.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
And then a social aspect. You have a huge social aspect in the game. You want all the players kind of starting together in the same zones. Right. You have a new hub that's set up, right?
Right. We took one of the existing cities in the game that, it was just really the game was a string of locations that you go to, but you never went back to one because it's a fairly linear game to keep players on the right level of content. We don't want players getting into an area and it's like, oh, I can't do that. But what we wanted to introduce with launch is a place where players can gather together and do different things. So with the introduction of PvP, we have honor points that you can earn. Well, you have to go to the hub now to turn in those honor points. When you hit level 15 now, you're introduced to a quest that takes you to the hub also, and you unlock your mastery system. And then in the same hub, there's travel points, so you can travel around the world. And so we're trying to get players in it. It's really starting to kick in. We've actually been there on live lately, and we've seen players gathering there and talking and interacting with each other more. So yeah.
So that's a good place to go, kind of meet guilds, form alliances, all that stuff.
Yep. That and the world bosses, the two places where players are gathering now, high level and low level, interacting with each other. Guilds are a big part of the game. But as a low-level player, it's not something you see as an obvious need. So interacting with those high-level players, it's like, hey, guy, join my guild. Hey, and the players start talking. They're like, oh, this is cool.
Well, thank you so much, Todd, for talking to us about Dragon's Prophet.
Yeah, no problem.
And we look forward to playing.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.